How's it going, GoFightPow fans? We are in the final stretch of the Terminal Velocity Tournament. And this one is going to be a doozy. We have 8 participants left, but only one of them will walk out with the Terminal Velocity Championship. Here are the competitors that are left in the tournament. Quite a few surprising names making it through here, and a few that were kind of expected, all things considered. But, and this is a very big one, I honestly don't know what I was going to say after that. Anyway, I don't want to waste too much time. We have 7 matches to get through, and we are going to crown a champion here tonight. And we're going to start things off with our first match of the night, the Central Space Grand Prix champion, Dante Giordano, taking on Team Rocket Promotions' Spacelord. Team Rocket Promotions still have some names, still have a name other than Spacelord still in the tournament, but Dante is the last for Central Space. It's been that way since round 3 in the Sweet 16, where he would beat none other than Victaris. Spacelord would beat Reichzilla in a very compelling matchup to get to this stage. Let's go! Fast forward check. No fast forward, so it's going to be Spacelord starting us off with the outer limits. Dante needs to avoid a 3, and he's rolling twice. He avoids it, so that will remove the 3. Rocket Ride. Dante counters it into some body stomps, and that's a hit. Body stomps again. Spacelord going to be hit by it. And the Cetus Slam. Spacelord needs to avoid a 5 or an even number. Gets a 2. Needs a 4. And he gets it. Still in the match is Spacelord. Body stomps. And that's a pop. He needs to avoid a 5. Gets a 4. That will remove the 6. So one of the safe numbers is still available. Power Headlock. That is going to add 1 to the pop. And it's going to be 1. That's actually one of the few unsafe. That was actually one of the few safe numbers that Spacelord had left. Spacelord counters it into the Rocket Ride. Pop. Dante needs to avoid a 3. Gets a 5. That will remove the 1. And the Mission to Mars. Dante is going to block it. But he's going to be hit with it again, only to be blocked again. Galactic Pile Driver. Dante needs to avoid a 1, 3, or 6. Gets a 2. And that will remove, well, can't remove the 1. That will remove the 4. Spacelord. Lost in Space. Dante counters it into the Rumble rating. Spacelord is a +2, but it doesn't matter. Lost in Space again. It's another pop. 1, 3, or 4. Gets a 1. He needs a 2, 3, or 6. He gets it. And will remove the 5. And the Galactic Pile Driver. Only 2 is safe. He gets a 3. He needs a 2, 3, or 6 now. And he doesn't get it. Dante Giordano loses in the quarterfinals to Spacelord. My, oh my. That means we aren't going to have a double champion. But Dante put on a heck of an effort in this one. And props to him. He's also going to worry about defending that title, the Grand Prix title anyway, so I don't think he wants to worry too much about doing double duty. But Spacelord will be moving on to the semifinals. So let's see who he's going to face next. Is it going to be Mid-Atlantis Superstar Tim Johnson or Fire Island's Orange Crush? Some big names here. Let's go. Fast forward check, and we actually got Tim's fast forward. Orange Crush needs to avoid a 6. Gets a 4. That'll remove the 6. And now the Superstar is in control here with a Rumble rating. Both have a +3. And Orange Crush gets it with a Neo Cutter. It's blocked. Samurai Drop. A pop. Tim needs to avoid a 4. Gets a 3. That will remove the 4. Samurai drop again. Another pop. Needs to avoid a 4. Gets a 2. That will remove the 3. Orange Lariat. Tim Johnson counters it into the Thunderstruck. And that's dodged. Frog Splash. Blocked. 1-2 punch. And that's his pop. He needs to avoid a 6. And that is out of the ring. It's a 5. That will remove the 5. And now Tim Johnson going for the Thunderfoot. Hit. And that's the Rumble rating. Who will get the advantage here? It's going to be Orange Crush, who's going to hit the Orange Lariat. It's dodged. Samurai drop. Pop needs to avoid a 3 or 4. Gets a 5. That will remove, can't remove the 4. That will remove the 6. Samurai drop again. Pop again. And he rolls a 1. That's a safe number. And it will remove the 2. Tim Johnson in serious trouble here. Neo Cutter. Tim Johnson counters it into the Rumble rating. Let's see who wins that. It is going to be Orange Crush, who will go on with an Orange Lariat. Superstar Tim Johnson counters it into the Thunderfoot. Orange Crush counters. Is he going to look to hit the Orange Crush? No, he's going to be looking for a Rumble rating, which Tim wins. 1-2 punch. Dodged. Thunderstruck. Blocked. Rumble rating again. And it's going to be Tim with the control. Hits the Thunderstruck again. Hit. And the Superstar Bomb. Orange Crush needs to avoid a 3, 5, or 6. Gets a 1. That will remove the 4. And now, Frog Splash. Orange Crush counters it into the Orange Crush. Only a 5 saves Tim here. It's a 1. He needs a 3 to stay alive. And he gets it. Now we're going to be looking for either 1 or 5 to remove. It's going to remove the 1. Orange Crush, that was one time unsuccessful. I'll go and keep a note of that since I'm here. And that's going to be the Orange Lariat. Tim Johnson counters it into the Superstar Bomb. 1 or 2 is safe. He gets a 3. He needs a 1 or a 5, and he doesn't get it. Tim Johnson coming up with an upset win here. And he's going to be facing Spacelord in a battle between TRP and Mid-Atlantis. Orange Crush will be going home. Up next, we have Tim Rocket Promotions. Tim Rocket Sr. taking on Deep South's Glen Hackson. These two have made quite some waves going in through here. And it looks like we're going to get Glen Hackson starting us off. I can't count that that's tilted. Rumble rating. And Tim Rocket Sr. actually taking control with a flash dropkick. Glen Hackson counters it into some tape fists. And it's normal. It's a pop. He needs to avoid a 6. Gets a 2. That will remove the 6. Hard-headed headbutt. Tim Rocket Sr. counters it into the flash dropkick again. It's dodge. Rough shot lariat. Blocked. Rumble rating. Not exactly what Tim Rocket Sr. wants to do right now. Glen Hackson takes control. Rumble rating. And Glen Hackson will keep control. Tape fist. It's normal. Tim Rocket Sr. counters it into the rough shot lariat. It's a pub. Glen needs to avoid a 2. Gets a 5. That will remove the 2. Tim Rocket Sr. with a rough shot lariat. Blocked. Buck Snort Blast. Glen Hackson counters it into the Gridiron Clothesline. Tim needs to avoid a 5 or 6. Gets a 2. That will remove the 5. Hard-headed headbutt. Dodged. Tough guy tackle. Hit. Rumble rating. And easily takes a Gridiron Clothesline again. 5 or 6. Gets a 2. That will cannot remove the 5. It will remove the 3. Tria knee drop. Dodged. Rumble rating again. And Tim Rocket Sr. actually getting it done. Buck Snort Blast. Hit. Rough shot lariat. Blocked. And he hits the rocket launch. That's going to be a 2 or 6 he needs. It's a 6. He needs a 3 now. And he doesn't get it. Deep South is done. And Tim Rocket Sr. will be moving on to the next round. In exactly 2 minutes. So, yeah, that actually saved me a couple button clicks. I'm not sure that'd be good for even ASMR. Anyway, our final match of the quarterfinals is Industrial Lands combatants. Bullet Bronson will take on Mr. Tempest. Who will win? Who will lose? Let's find out. And it looks like Bullet Bronson is going to start things off with a special ops slam. Blocked. Knee backbreaker. Mr. Tempest counters it into the Rumble rating. And Bullet Bronson easily taking that one with a Rumble rating of his own. And Mr. Tempest will actually take it there with a T-minus impact. And it's a pop. He needs to avoid a 3. Gets a 4, so that will remove the 3. Maple Leaf needs to avoid a 3 or 4. Gets a 2. That will remove the 1. Welcome to Calgary. Bullet Bronson counters it into the Fist and Wesson. Mr. Tempest counters. Welcome to Calgary. It's blocked. T-minus impact. Pop again. Gets a 5. He is safe. Going to remove the 2. Fool's Pity. Hit. We're going to see if that's a reversal. It is a reversal. Into a Rumble rating. Bullet Bronson will take it with a flying clothesline. Mr. Tempest counters into the Rumble rating. And Bullet Bronson will take it back with a Remington rack. Mr. Tempest needs to avoid a 2, 3, or 6. Gets a 1. That will remove the 6. But Bullet Bronson in control of flying clothesline. Mr. Tempest counters into the Fool's Pity. Blocked. And the Maple Leaf again. And it's a 5. He is safe. We're going to see what we remove. 4, 5, or 6. We're going to remove the 4. That is Maple Leaf's number, actually. So 5 or 6 saves him here. He gets it again. Bullet Bronson is really in trouble now. Welcome to Calgary. It's a hit. Storm the Ring. Bullet Bronson counters. I can't count that. That's tilted. Knee backbreaker. Blocked. Knee backbreaker again. Mr. Tempest counters. Into T-minus impact. Bullet Bronson counters it. Into the Fist and Wesson. Blocked. And the Remington rack again. 2, 3, or 6. Gets a 1 again. Can't remove the 6. I can't count that one. That's tilted. It'll remove the 4. That was one of the safer numbers. Rumble rating. And that's going to be 7 versus 7. So Bullet Bronson will keep control. Special ops slam. Blocked. Rumble rating again. And Bullet Bronson will keep control. Go back into the Rumble rating. And Mr. Tempest will take control back with the Fool's Pity. And Bullet Bronson will counter it into the flying clothesline. Dodge. And the Remington rack again. 2, 3, 4, 6. It's a 2. He needs a 2 now. And he doesn't get it. Bullet Bronson will advance to the semifinals to take on Tim Rocket Sr. in a match that really could have gone either way. But it didn't matter for the sector, as Industrial Lands was still the one that was going to move on. Now we have our semifinal set. Spacelord of Tim Rocket Promotions versus Mid-Atlantis' Tim Johnson. And Tim Rocket Sr. of Tim Rocket Promotions taking on Industrial Lands' Bullet Bronson. Let's go straight to the semifinals. And we got the fast forward of Tim Johnson. Spacelord needs to avoid a 5, gets a 6. A good start for Tim Johnson. Rumble rating, and Tim will keep the control, going for the Thunderfoot. It's dodged. Rumble rating again. And that's Tim Johnson in control with another Rumble rating. And Tim Johnson just keeping control with this Rumble rating. Wins it again. Frog Splash. Spacelord counters it into the Rocket Ride. It's blocked. Lost in Space. Superstar Tim Johnson counters it into the Superstar Bomb. 3 or 5. Gets a 6. That will remove the 6 as rolled there. Thunderstruck. Pop needs to avoid a 5 or a 6 here. Gets a 3. That will remove. Well, can't remove that. It'll remove the 1. Superstar Bomb again. Only 4 and 2 save him. Gets a 6. He needs a 4. And he doesn't get it. Tim Johnson, representing Mid-Atlantis since the Sweet 16 by himself, is now in the finals of the Terminal Velocity Tournament. Spacelord is going home. Now for the second semifinal match. It is Tim Rocket Sr. versus Bullet Bronson. Who will face Tim Johnson in the final, and who will be the first ever Terminal Velocity Champion after that? Now, this match goes over 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 seconds, then Tim Johnson just wins it automatically. So, the pressure is on these guys. No fast forward. Bullet Bronson will start with a Remington rack. 2, 3, or 6. Gets a 3. He needs a 1 or a 2, and he gets it. That was a close call. Fist and Wesson. It's a hit. Rumble rating. And that's going to be Bullet Bronson in control with a flying line. It's blocked. Special Ops Slam. Pop needs to avoid a 6. Gets a 4. That will remove the 5. Whoops. Fist and Wesson. Blocked. Fist and Wesson. Hit. Fist and Wesson again. Blocked. And the Remington rack. Only 1 and 4. Keep him safe here. Gets a 5. He needs a 1 or 2 again. Gets it again. The power play really coming into play here. No pun intended. Knee back breaker. Blocked. Special Ops Slam. Hit. Fist and Wesson. Tim Rocket Sr. counters it. Into a Rumble Rain. Not exactly the wisest idea, and that's why. Rumble Rain. Bullet Bronson will keep it. Going into a knee backbreaker. Pop. 1, 2, or 4. Keep him safe, and that's what he got. And he removes the 2. Special Ops Slam. Tim Rocket Sr. counters it. Into a Rough Shot Lariat. Bullet Bronson counters it. Into a knee backbreaker. Tim Rocket Sr. counters it. Into the rocket launch. 3 or 6. Gets a 6. He needs a 1. And he doesn't get it. Tim Rocket Sr. going on to the finals. And Bullet Bronson, I gotta give credit where it's due. He went through so many people. And that showed why he was the gatekeeper for Slick Nick for multiple cards. Winning 4 matches in a row is not easy. But one of these two are going to do it for 6. It's time for the final. Tim Johnson versus Tim Rocket Sr. Mid-Atlantis versus Tim Rocket Promotions. Who will win? Let's find out. And we got Tim Rocket Sr.'s fast forward. Tim needs to avoid a 4. Gets a 6. We're already starting off strong here with a Bucksnort Blast. It's a hit. Flash drop kick. Block. Flash drop kick. It's a hit. Another flash drop kick. Tim Johnson counters it. Frog splash. And Pop needs to avoid a 6. Gets a 5. Close call there. Thunderfoot. It's a hit. Thunderfoot again. And Tim Rocket Sr. counters it. Into the Rough Shot Lariat. It's a Pop. He needs to avoid a 4. Gets a 1. That will remove the 5. Bucksnort Blast. Tim Johnson counters it. Into the Thunderstruck. Pop again needs to avoid a 6. Gets a 5. That will remove the 5. Tim Johnson hitting the Thunderfoot. Tim Rocket Sr. counters it. Into the Volunteer Slam. 4 or 5. Gets a 4. He needs a 3 to stay alive. I can't count that. That's tilted. And he gets the 3. I think the tilt might have saved him there. Rough Shot Lariat. Dodged. Flash drop kick. Tim Johnson counters it. Into the Superstar Bomb. 3, 5, or 6. Gets a 6. He needs a 1 or a 2 to stay alive. And he doesn't get it. Ladies and gentlemen, after 63 matches, we have our winner and the first ever Terminal Velocity Champion, Superstar Tim Johnson. Tim Rackett Sr. put on one heck of an effort. 5 wins in a row is not easy for anyone. And really, every single competitor in this tournament, from the Sweet 16 to the... Really, all of these competitors here, from the Sweet 16 to the Elite 8, to the Final 4, and then to the finale, all of them put on one heck of an effort. But, at the end of the day, there's only one person who could be Terminal Velocity Champion. And tonight, it was an upset of the century. It was Superstar Tim Johnson. Let's go and put you in your sleeve, your new top loader. The first ever Terminal Velocity Champion, Superstar Tim Johnson. Let's put you down here, because you deserve to be at the ending of this. Thank you all so much for watching this entire tournament from start to finish. If you have, if you haven't, be sure to check out the previous rounds, as they were hectic as well. If you want to get cards just like the ones you saw here, you can check GoFightPow out in their official store, which I am linking in the description. You can also find me on the Pro Boards, which are also linked in the description, the Facebook page, and you can also find me on their Discord, which is also in the Pro Boards. Be sure to check all those out if you can. And if you haven't already, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to hit the bell so you don't miss out on anything GoFightPow related. And now, I'm going to ask you guys, who do you think Tim Johnson's first challenger for the title should be? Should it be someone who is an IFC original? Should it be someone who came out in a recent Fight Pass or a recent set? Whatever the case may be, that's something you can request right now. And if most people agree with it, then I will gladly have that defense. Speaking of request matches, those are still open, so don't be afraid to request any and everything that you think would be important to have. Any matchup that you can dream of, I can possibly make it happen in reality. So be sure to do that as well. And if you have done... And I'm also planning on doing unboxings, just like the one I did for Fight Pass 2026. But I'm going to be doing the unboxings for the Regional Rumble coming up soon. Fight Pass 2026 is going to have more stuff on the way as well, so I'm looking forward to that. And with all that said, thank you all so much for watching. This has been Miss Matone GFP, and I'm signing off. See you guys.